I'm Darren with Akshon Esports, and this is Akshon Recap, the show where we highlight various stories ongoing within the esports community. For our first story of the day, Seagull explains his situation with the Dallas Fuel on stream that led to him shifting from projectile DPS to now playing mainly as D.Va. According to Seagull, he was equally surprised when Rascal was brought onto the team, which further adds more evidence to the theory that upper management brought in at least one new player without consulting the team. He took the decision of the team to have him play D.Va with good spirits, but once the team was informed that Rascal was off the team, the Fuel found themselves in an awkward situation where they didn't have a Genji specialist now that Seagull hadn't dedicated time to the hero for several months, and thus the job was given to AKM.
The impossible situation that is me and Dallas Fuel. I play projectile DPS. This is all I've played, right? I play DPS, primarily for Genji Junkrat, bullshit off-meta heroes, right? For like, what, a year and a half? And then I play it for like 1 month, and then they pick up Rascal. They're like, okay, Seagull, just go learn D.Va. I'm like, shit, okay, I go learn D.Va. And then I just played on ladder a bunch, and then I go and I play it in a match, did pretty well. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm okay at D.Va, that seems cool. Yeah, why not? And then it was like, Rascal's off the team, by the way. Like, shit, now we don't have a Genji player, because I haven't played in 2 months. What do? I don't fucking know. It's funny, though. It's sad.
Heading into today's game, Dallas Fuel fans are already bracing themselves for disappointment, as we may see the Mayhem come out on top now that Effect and Taimu are on break, with the Fuel officially running Seagull and AKM as a DPS duo for the first time on stage. Without a Tracer main, the Mayhem could look to unleash Logics to wreak havoc against whatever makeshift strategy the Fuel are able to put together in such a short period of time. Now that their end-of-season playoff chances have been mathematically calculated to be impossible, the Fuel should aim to use this time before the start of the second season to really focus on resolving their internal issues and building the proper communication channels to avoid further burnout and keep egos in check. The need for Effect to take a break was brought up in a recent episode of Watchpoint where Monty discussed how this should not be happening, as stress will only increase once localization occurs reportedly by 2020.
Problem with the Dallas Fuel surrounding player attitude and burnout. And while this is what he may need right now, it should never, ever have gotten to this point. Players need to be able to play for an entire season without these ridiculous breaks. That said, abandon hope for any signs of life in Season 1, Fuel fans. It's over for 2018.
For our next story of the day, let's take a bit of a shift and talk about the World Cup jerseys. So far on the online store, we've got 7 jerseys to choose from. Grabbing one of these will set you back $55 plus shipping. I don't know about you, but a lot of people are once again having to do a double take of the Team Australia jersey, as the color scheme has led many to initially think it was for a Brazilian team. That aside, the main point of criticism that has been brought upon their design is how prominently the sponsorship logos are being displayed in the dead center of the jersey. This was likely part of Blizzard's partnership deal with various sponsors, but not many people enjoy being a walking billboard for certain brands like T-Mobile on the Team USA jersey or Union Pay on the China uniform. Out of all the logos, the minimalist design of the Omen by HB isn't as bad as the rest, but players have already taken to the forums to voice their displeasure and suggesting that these logos should be smaller or shifted to the shoulder area to preserve the clean look of the jersey. Looking at the NBA for example, Blizzard could take a page out of their book with the sponsorship patches on the left shoulder region of the uniform. This minimalist approach is in contrast to what has become the norm in European football teams, where sponsors have long been prominently featured on the jerseys. While we're on the topic of jerseys, one player who was trying to get a customized Outlaws uniform in the Overwatch League store discovered that you can no longer get a LUL KE printed on the back anymore. This is a bit bizarre, as the nickname doesn't technically violate the restrictions on what text could be printed, as most would agree it doesn't necessarily fall under anything sexual in nature or as hate speech. Jake expert XQC has gone on record stating that there was nothing malicious behind the LUL KE name and that he deeply respects Jake as a player, praising him as a great hit scan and one of the world's best Junkrats. On the other hand, given how the name was born from XQC's stream as a meme about Jake being a bad player who only plays Junkrat and how it gets spammed to the point of being an annoying joke used by haters whenever Jake dies or misplays on stream, it's possible that Jake or the Outlaws put in a request to put this meme on the blacklist. For our last story of of the day, the Dutch Gaming Authority has ruled that loot boxes constitute as gambling in their country and have reached out to game developers, including Blizzard Entertainment, to take the appropriate action or face the consequences. This is a follow-up on the controversy that began in 2017 after the release of Star Wars Battlefront 2, which faced a massive amount of criticism regarding their loot box system to the point where it caught the attention of concerned parents and government officials alike. The decision was made after looking at loot boxes in 10 games, with reportedly having found 4 breaching their Betting and Gaming Act. The report states that the content of these loot boxes was determined by chance, and crucially, the prizes and the accounts containing said items could be traded outside the game, giving them a market value. If loot boxes are not removed, titles like Counter-Strike, FIFA 18, and Overwatch will be labeled as illegal, in addition to a fine of 800,000 euros and a 5-year prison sentence. In the event of any minors found involved, the sentence could be doubled. What are your thoughts on this decision by the Dutch government? Do you think this will be repealed? And if not, how will Overwatch change without having a loot box system? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, thank you for watching, and be sure to like and share this video as it really helps us out a lot. And if you want to stay up to date with all of our latest releases, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay notified. Otherwise, this has been Darren from Akshon Esports, and we'll see you in the next one.